Venkatesh, ainda can you hear me or not? Yeah, your voice is very low. Yeah, asking about the application. I'm starting the application. Do I have the Eclipse here? I don't have. No, you just executed the servlet or not? I'm asking. Yeah, done with the execution. No, actually today Vishwant have today I have interview, so you already have the stats. I have to learn this algorithms. Actually, yeah, I have like 1 year experience on that is application చేశారా? Yesterday we have seen the application made, registration has been done inside the HDFC Bank. Let's see, that maps HDFC Bank application. Inside this, you can see that we have a farm action. When I give the action, you can execute the website XML. Inside the website XML, the register is there. Based on that, the survey will get executed. Okay? And similarly, the left one should have the original security, and there is a survey class in the executed by the survey agency. Today's task will be, or the topic will be, login. We just have registered, we can log in, right? So, how to log in and what are the different things we have to do? That we have to see. When I see the directory structure for the login, again we require the login.html. Login servlet is required, and servlet and servlet mapping must be added to the web.xml. So these three things are required again for a particular login action. So first I'll write the login thing, HTML, body, the color. So here I'm just the color. And I'm just writing a form action is there. That action is nothing but basic thing dot slash login. So close the form. The body has been closed. After that, the HTML has been closed. We know that username is there. That username is nothing but input type text. Name equals to username because just username is required. And the next thing will be the password. So what do we have to do? Input type equals to, just say it as password. Name equals to password. And the input type equals to text, or you can say sub. The value is nothing but here you can say it as login now because you are logging, right? So this entire thing is what login.html. It's stored outside the WebInf inside the root application. So login.html. Already we have the register servlet, right? See, for the login, what is the different thing we have to do? Consider registration time, we have given the username and the password and the email and the phone. Those details are getting stored inside the database. Like run SQL command line, we have a database here. So I'm just trying to connect system by manager. Okay. So now in this we have a table. What is the table? Describe HDFC Bank. So the username is Rahul, password is Rahul. Means I need to check whether that HDFC Bank contains this username and password or not. Ante, like here in HTML, when I'm using the login, I'll give a username and password. When I click on the login button, the values must be taken and verified in the database. Like we verify using the select command, select star from HDFC Bank. So record existing there, it means the username password exists. Yes. Gopi, in Japan.
సార్ వాయిస్ క్లియర్ లేదు సార్, కట్ అయిపోయింది అంతా. ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ
అర్థం కాలేదు, వాయిస్
క్లియర్ గా లేదు సార్. మీరు ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ చెప్తారా? అంతే, అంత కట్ అయిపోయింది లాస్ట్ 2 minutes.
సింపుల్ థింగ్, లాగిన్ చేయడానికి మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాము? లాగిన్ లో యూజర్ నేమ్ పాస్వర్డ్ ఇస్తారా? ఈ ఇచ్చిన యూజర్ నేమ్ పాస్వర్డ్ ని నేను ఆల్రెడీ స్టోర్ చేసిన డీటెయిల్స్ తో చెక్ చేయాలి కదా. ఆ స్టోర్ చేసిన డీటెయిల్స్ తో చెక్ చేయాలి అంటే సెలెక్ట్ కమాండ్ రాస్తామా? సెలెక్ట్ రాసినప్పుడు దాంట్లో ఇచ్చిన యూజర్ నేమ్ పాస్వర్డ్ కరెక్ట్ అయితే వాల్యూస్ ఉంటాయి, కరెక్ట్ కాకపోతే వాల్యూస్ అనేవి ఉండవు. సో ద సేమ్ థింగ్ యూఆర్ డూయింగ్ ఇన్ ద లాగిన్ సర్వ్లెట్ అని చెప్తున్నాను. ఓకే, సో whenever we need to perform the login, we'll select the values from the database.
Whenever we need to register, we need to write the insert command.
Yes.
So already we have the register servlet code. See, and just entire code I am copying and I am pasting it as a login servlet now. What is it? Login. Why? Because registration login, the database connectivity won't change.
Yeah.
So login servlet is the thing I'm writing here, and after that I'm retrieving only the username and password. Right?
Yes.
No need of retrieving the email and phone. I just removed that, and I just need to say that the try block, entire try block will get changed. Why? Because here, simple thing, we retrieved two values, username and password. For those two values, you need to write the select command. For writing the select command, we need to use the execute query method. So we need again one more declaration known as result set rs equals to
Null.
null. So what is the result set? Stores all the values from the database. Now what's my requirement is basic thing. I'll just call ps equals to con dot prepare statement. Same command we need to write. The entire command should be the same. And you need to understand, for prepare statement we don't give the values directly, we give the question mark. Here username and password are transferred using this username variable and password which are given at the time of login. In the login.html you can say. Okay. So next thing, I need to transfer the values, so I'll just say ps dot execute or set string of 1 comma username. ps dot set string of 2 comma password. Execute query. The return type of execute query is result set object that we have already declared at the starting now. The result set rs, right? So rs contains the like record. If the record exists means you just need to say that here if rs dot next is true, right? So what is happening? So what I'll do, I'll just write the entire thing inside the try itself, and I'm just saying that if rs dot next is true, username logged in successfully. If it is not there, else what do you have to say?
Login failure.
Login failed. Try again. So here you need to understand that we are using the login failed, try again concept. Like message when the username and password are wrong. So two things we have defined here, right? One when it gets successful, other when it gets failed. And here nothing is changing from the register servlet. In In the register servlet, we used to retrieve all the text box values. Here also, only 2 text box are there. We have retrieved the 2 text box. Then we send the values to the database. Select star from HDFC Bank where username and password. Based on that, when we execute the query, we will get the object. If that object contains a value or not, based on that you can write it. rs dot next to check whether value is there or not inside the object. Right? So these are the things, and then just save the file as login servlet. So nothing is changing, just copy the thing login servlet.java and save it inside the WebINF classes. Login servlet.java. Okay. So here inside the login servlet, what's happening now? What are the changes we need to make? Like we need to write a web.xml for the login servlet now. Okay?
Yeah.
So where we have saved this? Inside the classes, right?
Yep. Yes.
Say WebINF classes login servlet. How to compile? Click on the particular Tomcat Web Apps HDFC Bank application WebINF classes. Open the CMD. Inside that we need to write one thing. cv space c java c space -d space dot space java space, or you can just compile the things. That's it, we got the class and the WebINF will be there. Inside the WebINF we need to add one more time the servlet and the servlet mapping tags. See here, it's login, you can say, and the same login must be there here, and you have the URL pattern. What does the URL pattern means? Here login servlet / login is there, right? Copy the same thing and paste it here. And which class we are executing here? Login servlet class. So copy that class. Instead of register servlet, paste it. Same thing, servlet mapping, servlet tag. Servlet, it's like a key value pair, you can say. So these are the 3 requirements for performing a login action. So what I have to do now? I have compiled, I have written the web.xml, it's working fine or not. Open with the Internet Explorer. The code is coming properly, entire thing means it is done properly. You have written that correctly. Start the server, Tomcat bin Tomcat server. Once the application gets started, you need to take the HDFC Bank application, like localhost, or you can say HDFC Bank application. Instead of register, I just want to have the login.html now, because already we have registered yesterday, right? For the same registration, we need to perform the login now. So once the start of the server done, we can run that part. particular application. After entering, you'll get the username and password. So what is the username I'm giving here, Rahul? Rahul logged in successfully. Okay. And if I'm giving the password wrong, login failed. Try again. So it's based on the particular application, right? What are the requirements? Is it the insert command or the select command? Okay. So this entire thing is nothing but login action, like writing a login.html, login servlet, and the web.xml. Three things we need to modify. Understood?
Yes.
But the problem is there is no interaction between the application. If I register, again I need to separately type the login.html. Basic thing would be when I register, it will automatically gives as registered successfully, login now. So after the registration, login page should come. Then after login, home page should come. So what's the difference we have to see? Okay. Simple thing. I need to follow a concept where it will transfer the control from one file to another file. So how to transfer the control, that we have to see. Okay. So first thing will be register.html. So next thing, just run this part instead of notepad. We have a concept known as request dispatcher. Why we need a request dispatcher? Nothing but to transfer the control from one servlet to another servlet or HTML or JSP. We can use this particular request dispatcher. For that, it is required. So, understood till now?
Yes.
Why we are using the request dispatcher? What control we are transferring? When I register, it's not giving any particular like next login page. After the registration is done, login page should come. After the login, the home page should come. Home page in the sense what? Just I'll write a particular file which contains the HTML tag, the body bg color equals to wheat. Again, center tag I'll just say h1. Welcome to home page. Close the center tag, close the body tag, close the HTML. It's just a home.html I have written. That's it. Okay? Nothing else. It's not dynamic, just a static page. Now, in order to have a communication between the two servlets, we need to use the request dispatcher. Like what methods we have inside the request dispatcher, that we have to see. First thing will be Java space Java dot javax dot servlet dot request dispatcher. So when I call those things, I have two methods. One is forward, one is include. The parameters are same: servlet request, servlet response. So what you have to see here, one is servlet request and servlet response. And we have two methods. What are the two methods? Void forward request comma response object must be given. Void include request comma response. Now, what's the difference between an include and a forward? Simple thing. If you want to transfer the control from one servlet to another HTML or the JSP thing, we use the forward one. Okay? And what is it include is doing? To include the code in existing servlet, we can use this particular include method. Okay, so simple thing, I need a message and then include. That's a policy we follow. Apart from that, if you see login, what's happening from login page, you should go to the servlet, right? So these things must be kept in mind. Now, in order to call the forward or the include, we need object for the request dispatcher. And we know that request dispatcher is a interface. So we can't create the object by using the new keyword. But here we have something. I need a particular package. What's the package? javax.servlet.servlet request. What is the servlet request? Has a method. What's that method name? Request dispatcher is a return type of get request dispatcher. Like servlet request has this method, and what's the method you can say? Get request dispatcher, whose return type is a request dispatcher, and the parameter is a string, which is nothing but the HTML file name or the another servlet name or that particular JSP. Okay, so we can use this request dispatcher concept, include and forward, you can say. So next thing, in order to call this get request dispatcher, which is present inside the servlet request, we already have the object of request, which is generated by the servlet engine. Like here, we have the servlet engine, right? We generate the object of request comma response. And what's the next thing we have to do? Call the object, create the object. Or how to create the object? Simple thing. Inside the servlet, we need to call that request dot get request dispatcher. What's that string you can say? The next page is the login.html. Next, what is the return type of request dispatcher? Get request dispatcher. Request dispatcher. RD equals to. Now RD dot include, you can say inside that request comma response. Right? So what is the two different things we have? So here instead of include method, now I'm just saying the method known as forward. Where we are forwarding, after that login, we can just forward to the home.html. So these are two things we have written, right? One is include, one is forward. Now, just check these things, copy the code, go with the register servlet, and after that successfully registered, nothing will happen, just we need to write one more code. What is it? Request dispatcher. Okay, and here we are just including that part every time. So this is what get request dispatcher include. After that registration, it should include the login.html file along with the message. Next, I've just modified the register servlet. Now login servlet. What is login servlet is doing? Simple thing. If the login fails, you need to understand. Here it should go to the login page again, right? So just include the login page. But once it's logged in, it should go to the home page, right? If the username and password is given correctly. So here just forward method will be there. Copy that thing. When I log in successfully, it should go to this part. So there is no need of message because message will have no effect when you are using the forward. So I just changed two things now. Classes, right? What are the classes? Login servlet, registration servlet. CD space, this thing Java C space. What is the first thing you have to do? Register servlet.java. It's saying unreported exception, servlet exception means I need to overcome this using the throws. So unreported exception is SQL exception. Either you can use the throws SQL exception, no servlet exception. So here servlet exception, because I'm using the request dispatcher, there might be an exception it's saying, and you didn't handle it. Now after that Java C registration login.html. So once that we have modified the code, we can directly access the part. What you have to do? We have recompiled both the things. Whenever you recompile, you need to restart. There is one problem of the servlets, and the HTML code is written indirectly. Web.mxml is required every time. Okay, so all these things you need to understand. Now what is happening? We are having a communication between the registration and login. Once registration, login will be done. Once login, home.html will be executed. Okay, one after the other, we can execute them, we can say. Open the browser, run this part, but I want to do the registration now. Shiva. Here just we need to give the email. Click on register. Shiva registered successfully using the email. Now login. So if you want to get the message in the particular next page, you need to use the include one. We just used the include one. That's the reason we got this way. Okay. Now after the include, if you directly log in, what's that? Shiva is a username. Shiva is a password. Welcome to homepage. Here I'm not getting any message because forward means what? It will transfer the page again to another thing. Okay. So that's a welcome page, you can say. So next thing will be here the transferring of the control is done using the include and forward, which are there inside the request dispatcher. And once the request dispatcher is done, you can see the design part now. The design part is not that good, right? We just didn't concentrate on it. Because in a company, you won't develop the UI yourself or the program like the developer, server-side coding or the database entirely done by yourself itself. First, UI team will be there. They will be providing you the files. When they provide you the files, you need to write the Java code and link them to the database. And database also will not be created by the programmer. It will be done by the DB separately. Database team will be there. So they are providing the tables, UI providing the design. You need to integrate them. That's the functionality. Okay. Same thing we have here, like HTML files are there. What I have done, I have separated the HTML like index files. The HDFC Bank registration. Registration will have 4 things: username, password, email, and phone. Are designed in the same way what our application is required. Okay. Suppose I am giving you the UI. Now, according to the UI, you need to write the code. Okay. And you need to verify few things before combining these files. See, all these files I can include in our application, replace the existing ones, because the existing one doesn't have any design part. So what I'm doing here, the UI developed files I'm copying, and after copying them, C drive, Tomcat, web apps, HDFC Bank application, I'll just paste it here itself. I'm replacing the 3 files also. And you need to understand, when I execute the register.html now, the form action will be there. Just register thing, yeah. So here, just we need to check that action now. See, there is a HTML, JavaScript, CSS code is there. We don't require all the things. A programmer is worried about the form action. Yesterday I mentioned clearly the action of that thing must be same with the webinf web.xml. The slash register is same. If both are same, there is no issue. And after that, login servlet, register servlet, you can say. And here you need to understand The register servlet username, password, email and phone must be similar to the register servlet username, password, email and phone. So all the things are same because I just written in that format. The names will be the same. If you are having any changes, you're using any different name, those names must be given because these name attributes are retrieved from the servlet. You can say so. The username, password, email, and phone will be retrieved by the register.html from the register.html. So everything is fine. Web.xml is there. Then again we need to check with the login servlet. So login servlet.java is there, but apart from that, the login page you need to open. Inside the login page again the form action will be there. So that form action / login and the web.xml / login. Same thing, no change. So login servlet is there. After that, username and password. So username and password has been retrieved in the similar manner like here. Username is there, the name attribute, the password is there, name attribute. So now what you have to do, just stop that server, restart because I just added few new files, right? So once the server is getting started, we can run the application and here I just changed the front end UI part. I didn't change any Java code. I didn't need not to modify any .java file. And here the HFC has the index, home, login and register itself. Similar to the last application files. Open the browser. Here it's the HDFC Bank application login. After login we have. So there is a registration page. But the register.html is not getting changed, right? So just refresh the things. Login, registration. Everything is done fine. So I'm giving a name Siri, password Siri, email siri@gmail.com, phone, I gave a phone number, just register. Siri registered successfully using email Siri. Now I'm giving that Siri username, Siri password, login. We got the home page. Welcome, you can log out. A deposit, withdrawal, balance inquiry. We don't have anything at present. Okay. So what are the new different things required? We'll see this. So just what you have done, I just replaced that old particular HTML files with the new things what I have developed or what I have copy pasted the separate things. So same thing you can do it from the net also. In Google, search for a register like free templates for register. So you got these things, right? Websites, registration thing. Click on them. See here. These are the things we have for the login. Download this now. After downloading, just replace that particular things, username, email, password, whatever the things we have, or remove this particular retype password. So according to that, you can use it. So you can download from Google the UIs, integrate in your application directly. That is also a one point. Understood. So these are the HTML files, you can say. So I'm just forwarding you the things. So what I'm doing now, you need the HTML files. I'll just send you the HTML files, what I have done, the HTML. Now you need to download that properly. Here upload, select files. So I've sent all the HTML files. Try to download those things. Design part, based on that, do the application.
Okay.
Tomorrow we will see the Eclipse part, or before that the HTTP servlet. Okay, or what are the few changes we can do inside the same application? Like if you are having a bank, I need an account and the amount, right? So who is adding that? That also we have to see. Any doubts? Today's class, the design part we just copy pasted and replace the previous ones. Simple login, same code of the register servlet, just remove the unwanted things and a select command.
Okay.
And the next thing will be the request dispatcher, you can say.
Okay.
Is it fine? Any doubts, anyone? So that's it for today. We'll meet again tomorrow.
Ding.